Welcome to another Friday night. This is On Fire Family, and this is Happy Hour. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. Hoist the mainsail, here I come. Ain't no room on board for the insincy. You're my witness, I'm your mutiny.
Well, it is time to catch you up on the Bahamas. We are freshly-ish back from the Bahamas. We spent a month there. We made no happy hour videos while we were there, but we got a lot of news to report and fun things that we did. And so we thought we would take you through and get you caught up on all the fun that we had. In all, we spent a month, 4 weeks in the Bahamas, and we had a loose plan of what we wanted to do, but that became
That went down the toilet.
Yeah, as soon as the weather picked up. And so we'll show you our kind of battle-worn Bahamas map where we crossed over and we started planning and thinking and through and all of these little notes from other loopers that had gone before us and guidebooks and waterway
We had it all planned out where we were going to go.
We knew all these pubs from looper families before us that said they were great to go to, anchorages, all this stuff. But as we'll cover, that changed when the weather picked up. So let's throw this guy out the window. We'll start with a freshie, and we'll take you through our route and all the cool things.
And it was such an amazing, cool, long time that's it's gonna take a few videos so that we can really do it justice.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. In the last video, we crossed from Key Largo to Bimini, and we cleared customs and got checked in, and the next day started exploring Bimini.
Yes. Yeah, we spent, a couple nights in Bimini. We had only planned for 1 or 2 nights. People don't usually stay very long in Bimini, but of course there was some weather days. But we actually really enjoyed it, even though it's kind of like a second hand cruise stopover. But we had a great time.
Yeah, so we spent a night or two at the Big Game Club. That was to get us into the country and clear customs. We enjoyed their pool there, had some drinks by the pool, and really hung out. Crystal clear water. Absolutely amazing. Then we moved to an anchorage to save us some money during some heavy winds. And so we love being on anchor, and that was great.
Yeah, we found a little hidey hole towards the mega yacht docks.
Yeah. We had a guy boat up to us with lobster tails and crab claws. So I was out having a glass of wine and some dinner on the bow tonight, and a guy approaches in a boat, and he holds up a bag, and there are a dozen lobster tails in here that he inquired if we were interested in purchasing, and then he comes out with this bag of stone crab claws, and these aren't like the little guys. Like, there are some massive claws in here. And so this is kind of the thing that I've dreamed of in the Bahamas, is it doesn't get any fresher or better than this. So we are excited to fire up the barbecue and have some lobster tails and some stone crab. Oh man, living well tonight on Witness. It was a dream come true. Really awesome.
We were just like, take all our money. We'll eat all that.
Terrific. And then we went back and we had another night at the Big Game Club on our way out of Bimini. It was important to get our water tanks filled up, and so they have a daily rate there. Water is hard to come by in the Bahamas, and so that was something that was important to us, to get our tanks full before the next day. And we did Bimini. We did all the tourist things, like the Dolphin House. We walked the beach. We went and got our
Radio Beach.
Coconut bread.
2 coconut breads at Nate's and Charlie's. And our family prefers Charlie. He went and he got us warm, fresh bread, and it's just like nom nom nom.
Yeah. And conch, we had conch salad, we had conch fritters, we didn't have cracked conch there, but we had cracked conch later in the trip. Yeah. Delightful, nice time in Bimini. So it's our last day in Bimini. we've been doing touristing today. We got our coconut bread, we got our conch salad, our conch fritters. We're taking a walk along the beach here. This turquoise water is just absolutely amazing. We've had some dogs that have become our friends. They first found us when we arrived after we completed immigration and customs, and they showed up at the pool and at the resort. This is on the other side of the island though, and they've found us here on the beach. They must just be feral dogs that run around the island, but they've become our friends. We're gonna walk down, maybe get a cheeseburger or something like that, and make our way back to the boat. Tomorrow we will depart Bimini for the Berry Islands and spend some time there. So goodbye, Bimini. The next day we got up and we're headed for the Berry Islands. And so that is a long journey over this shoal, the shallow shoal that is in the middle between Bimini and the Berry Islands. And so a long day, started at sunrise.
Before sunrise.
And got us over to the Berry Islands. Morning from Witness, it is 6 a.m. and we are leaving Bimini, which is over here. The sun is rising. We got started just before sunrise. When we first got some light on the water. We've got Jennifer handling kind of buttoning up the lines and things from casting off so early. Madeline is up to see the sunrise and the beautiful turquoise waters here. We are set for a very long day, about 100 miles over to the Berry Islands, landing at Great Harbor Key at an anchorage there. So we've got a long day ahead of us, but pretty much after we round North Bimini and set our course, it's going to be a straight shot over to Great Harbor Key. So we'll see. There'll be a couple of loopers that are going to be making a similar trip today. I think we beat them out of the marina here in Bimini, and so they'll probably be catching up to us, as we aren't usually the fastest in the group. I think we just see some dolphins straight ahead, so I'm going to hang this up and enjoy the sunrise. A pod of dolphins this morning. All wanting to ride in our wake. You always worry you run them over, but they're much smarter than us. Jennifer's got the helm for a bit. Madeline's out here enjoying the view. Mason is down below working on some homeschooled math, and I am working on some lunch. We are still working through these lobster tails we got from a local guy. Awesome today. Cheers. Well, here we are 9 hours into our very long crossing to the Berry Islands, and you see these sea conditions are just absolutely amazing. Jennifer really knows how to pick these weather days. All of her research and planning and patience pays off. We still have two buddy boats, Call Me Curly and Eric's Inheritance. They've been with us, kind of catching up to us throughout the day, and they're just passing us very slowly now. We ran a little bit faster than we wanted to, we would normally do today, because we wanted to get in and get safely anchored before sunset. But you really have to be here to see the amazing blue water that we have been in today. We're in like 30 feet of water, and you can see all the way through this down to the bottom. It's been incredible. You see fish going by, sea stars, all kinds of stuff on the bottom. It's been a lot of fun today. Just another couple of hours to go, and we should make it before sunset into our anchorage. We've got a couple of different ones picked out, so we'll see which one we end up with. We landed at Great Harbor
Yep.
at the north end of the Berries. We snorkeled.
Well, we anchored out
anchored out.
before going in, and like right at sunset. So it was before sunrise to sunset. It was
Yeah.
longer than to get to Bimini. Bimini is so far removed from the other islands. It was closer to Key Largo than it was to the Berry Islands.
Yeah. We snorkeled our first drug plane of many that we snorkeled in the Bahamas, and that was an awesome thing. Crystal clear water, really cool fish swimming in and out of this plane. We anchored right next to it, and it was really neat to be able to catch that really as the sun was setting when we got into Great Harbor. Then we started exploring the Berries. So the next morning we got up and we headed south down the east side of the
North and
Berries.
then south.
North up around the cruise ship terminal, and then south around down to Hoffman Key. And there were a bunch of boats kind of right in there.
He was convinced that this was going to be our Bahamas stop, where it's just going to be us and these islands, nobody around for miles, and it took us a while to anchor. It was a little bit difficult, and then I counted. There were many anchorages around there. There were 15 other boats, and I was like, well, it's not as secluded.
But they were all gone the next day. So there was one boat left and us.
Yeah, but before that, when we got in, we took a hike to the Hoffman Blue Hole.
So we'll do a whole video on the Blue Hole because that was a lot of fun. We had a great time there.
And we were lucky enough to be alone there.
Yeah, and beautiful beaches and clear water. We saw fish just right from our swim platform.
Yeah.
The kids swam off the boat. It was really a great stop.
And we wanted to stay 2 nights. But when we woke up the next morning, because our internet sometimes worked in the Bahamas and sometimes didn't, we got up and we were the only ones left. And we're like, maybe it's time to move on. If everybody knows it's time to move on, it was time to move on. And there was a storm coming.
Yeah, and then that was a long day because our next stop was Nassau. We had planned on another stop or maybe 2 in the Berry Islands, but we were right up against spring break season, and we wanted to take the kids to Atlantis to do the water park and all that stuff, and their rates go up dramatically at spring break.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to fit that visit in earlier in our trip to the Bahamas than later, and so we were a little under the gun for that, and then pinned down by weather. So we made it from Hoffman Key to Nassau in one jump, which was a long day as well. So 3 really long jumps, kind of to start our time in the Bahamas. And so we pulled into Nassau.
Well, we anchored out at Atoll Island because we didn't want a long day and then hitting Atlantis because it's spendy. So we wanted to, maximize our time there. So we anchored out at Atoll Island.
Well, we have made it to Nassau. It was a long, a little bit choppy day yesterday.
Also unexpected because we left a day early due to waves.
Yeah, so we saw the forecast, decided to
Just hop to it.
hop to it. So we did, and we got here to Atoll Island, which was a delightful anchorage. It would be a little rolly during the day with tour boats coming by with snorkelers and divers, but for an overnight, worked great, and we are really close to Nassau Harbor, and we are headed to Atlantis. The kids are excited. We are excited to spend a couple of days at a resort with resort style amenities and water slides and fun, and
just water.
to have fresh water. We have so far gone on our original tanks from filling up in Key Largo, and so we are ready for
Lots of swimming.
filling up our boat and maybe hopefully washing our boat. We'll see. It seems like an extravagance here where fresh water is hard to come by. So
So this morning it rained a little bit and we got out there with the soap and we're
scrubbing
while we had fresh rain.
So we're going to pay attention. We need to hail the Nassau Harbor Control, and they grant us permission to enter the harbor, and then we hail our marina, and they talk us into how we meet other boats coming in and out of the marina. So only a 30-minute little ride today. We've timed this so that we arrive to maximize our time at the resort, because it's not inexpensive. So we are going to have a great time. So cheers.
Cheers. Which was great. I thought it was really calm, and we really enjoyed anchoring out in the Bahamas because
water was great. It was a little more rolly than we would prefer always in all of the anchorages, but it was still fine. And then we pulled into Atlantis,
Yeah.
and it was the resort experience you would expect. With the water park, and casino, and restaurants, and all the things. So
We're not big on casinos, but they always have really cool decor, in a nice hotel like that.
yeah, and
yeah.
the kids like the water park. There's a huge aquarium kind of down underneath with some stuff we hadn't seen really anywhere else so far on the loop. It was great.
And we ran. Well, friends of ours recognized our boat from their talks, and they had previously done the Great Loop, and they were staying at the condos at Atlantis, and our boat was right there. And those condos have their own pool and a restaurant on the point, and so we were able to spend time with strangers that weren't strangers because we had mutual close friends. And so just, you never know who you're going to meet on the Great Loop.
So maybe we'll stop there for this week. Part 1 of our Bahamas adventure. We'll pick it up next week with a continuation where we'll go from Nassau and what we thought was going to be the Abacos, but
And what
turned
really
out
happened.
to be what. Yeah, we'll share what really happened. Thanks for joining. Cheers.
Cheers.